Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, 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 Jaya Jaya Girivar Raj Kisori, Jaya Mahesa Mukha Chanda Chakori, Jaya Gaja Badana Shadanana Mata, Jagat Janani Damini Duti Gata, Nahi Tava Adi Madhya Avasana, Amita Prabhau Vedu Nahi Jana, Bhava Bhava Vibhava Parabhava Karini, Vishwa Vimohani Svabasa Viharini, Pati Devata Sutiya Mahum, Matu Prathama Tavarekha, Mahima Amitana Sakahi Kahi, Sahasa Sarada Sesha, Sevata Tohi Sulabha Phalachari, Varadayani Purari Priyari, Devi Puji Pada Kamala Tumhare, Sura Nara Muni Sab Hohi Sukhare, Mora Manorath Janahu Nike, Basahu Sada Ura Pura Sabhi Ke, Kinhe Pragatana Karana Tehi, Asa Kahi Charana Gahe Vaidhi, Vinaya Prema Rasa Bhai Bhavani, Hasi Malamu Rati Musukani, Sadar Siya Prasada Sira Dhareu, Boli Gauri Hara Shruhiya Bhareu, Suno Siya Satya Asisa Hamari, Puji Man Kamana Tumhari, Narad Bachana Sada Suchi Sacha, Sobaru Milahi Jahi Manuracha, Manu Jahi Rache Umilahi Sobaru Sahaja Sundara Savaro, Manu Jahi Rache Umilahi Sobaru Sahaja Sundara Savaro, Karuna Nidhana Sujana Silu Sanehu Janat Ravaro, भाति गौरी असीस सुनि सिय सहित हिय हर्षियली, भाति गौरी असीस सुनि सिय सहित हिय हर्षियली, तुलसी भवानी पूजी पुनि पुनि मुदित मन मंदिर चली, Manu Jahi Raje Umilehi Sobaru Sahaja Sundara Savaro, Karuna Nidhana Sujana Silu Sanehu Janat Ravaro, Ehi Bhati Gauri Asi Sasuni Siya Sahita Hiya Harashiyali, Tulasi Bhavani Puji Puni Puni Mudita Mana Mandira Chali, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। 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 सर्ववेदान्त सिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। There is a saying, प्रयोजनम् अनुद्दिश्य न मंदः अपि प्रवर्तते. Without gaining clarity about purpose, what am I going to benefit? Even a dull person doesn't start doing anything. Prayojanam anuddishya mandah api na pravartate. So if we are students of Advaita Vedanta, time and again we have to keep reflecting on what is Vedanta going to do for me. More we think about this, greater is our commitment to Vedanta. We are able to appreciate what to expect from Vedanta. First of all, Shankaracharya pointed out, all of us as jivas are bound by a rope, an invisible rope which is made of 3 strands. What are they? Avidya-Karma-Karma. Ignorance about my nature as bliss, forgetfulness of that leading to desires. What is at the root of desire? Avidya, but what is the underlying thought? I want to be happy. By doing something, by meeting somebody, by going somewhere. Bottom line is, I want to be happy. See, something which I already have, I will not seek it. Glasses, for example, I know I have it. And if I tell you I am seeking for the glass, that statement will not be valid statement. It's a meaningless statement. Either I have forgotten it, or that statement is not valid. But if I say I want tint on this glass, reflective coating, so I don't have it, I can seek for it. What is the main point? Whatever I have, I will not seek. So if I am seeking happiness through some object, person, situation, what is the underlying thought? I am unhappy right now. And Vedanta says that thought we have to challenge. Removal of ignorance means that as pure consciousness, I am of the nature of bliss. This thought, this understanding should dawn. Otherwise, we are bound by that rope. Ignorance leading to desire, and all our actions born out of that desire. But note carefully, it might be a noble desire also. If quest for happiness is sitting beneath it, even that noble desire can come to bind us. It might be some good work a person is doing, but if he thinks that by doing this work, I'll be happy, that work can give lot of vairagya. It can give lot of true perspectives of life. Remember the example we had seen of arranging a party at home. Now, which kind of desire is it? Noble or ignoble? Noble desire. What is the harm? Getting everybody together. But if a person does it with this understanding or this hope that I will do this and be happy, that action driven by desire, driven by ignorance, will come to bind us. What is the purpose of Vedanta? To make us independent of the world for happiness. This is a practical side of Vedanta. One doesn't have to depend upon any person, any object, any outcome to be happy if he discovers his nature to be happiness. This was mentioned in the 55th verse. What will Vedanta do to you? Shankaracharya said, it will free us from search for happiness. Then 56th verse, Shankaracharya as though warned the student. He said, while you are on this path of Advaita Vedanta, you will also be exposed to other schools of thoughts. You might learn some yoga, you might learn some Sankhya, you might learn about the benefits of karma. You might also learn about devotional meditation, upasana. But remember, don't sway away from your main path. That was the advice Shankaracharya ji gave to that student. This particularly happens with paths which have immediate result. If you do yogasana for some time, you feel fresh. You might do pranayama for some time, you feel very energized. And slowly this person starts feeling, maybe we should learn yoga. Why do we sit for 1 hour class? Why do we do Shravanam? Why do we study Upanishads? So Shankaracharya is not criticizing yoga. What he says is, take the benefits of every darshana, every school of thought. But be very clear, ignorance will go away only through knowledge. So bondage is due to ignorance. What will free us from this bondage is knowledge. Don't get fascinated by any paths. In your own path, your Guru Parampara, Bhagwan's grace and blessings is powerful enough to take you across this ocean of samsara. Don't doubt efficacy of this path, and don't suddenly start feeling some other path is greater. These are all very practical points for a sadhaka. Sometimes he will go to a dualistic school of thought and suddenly start feeling maybe that is better. Then some other school of thought that looks appealing. So Shankaracharya ji warns us here. You be firm in your path and take the benefits from all other paths. Then 57th verse he said, the moment you start doing some sadhana, you might get some results. You might see some results in yourself. And those results might draw worldly praise. But unless your jivatva is gone, that worldly praise doesn't mean anything for moksha. So don't get sidetracked by worldly praise also. See, praise and recognition by themselves, they are not bad. If a person starts deriving joy from it, then it becomes a bondage. I was listening to our Shivkumar Sharma ji, one interview. He says if there is a musician and he performs, let's say 15 concerts back to back, and nobody acknowledges him, he says he will not be able to perform a 16th concert. Means acknowledgement in some way is an endorsement for him or an assurance for him, you are on the right path. But he also says in the same interview, he says, I come from Pahadi area, the mountainous region. Whenever you have to walk down a mountain, you have to stand straight. And if you have to walk up a mountain, you have to bend. So he says, remember, if somebody praises you, how do you feel? Do you feel bent or do you feel straight? Yes, I feel straight. That means know that you are coming down. And if a person is bent all the time to that knowledge, he says, know that you are going up. So Shankaracharya ji gave example of one who plays veena. He said a person might be called a good veena player, but he is not called a king because of his veena playing ability. What was it symbolizing? His skill might bring him worldly praise. But that worldly praise by itself will not remove jivatva. And unless you remove jivatva, one cannot be called liberated. So he said, be very careful. Don't make erroneous things as your metric. Then 58th verse, Shankaracharya spoke about eloquent speech. Vag vaikhari shabdachari shastra vyakhyana kaushalam. He said eloquent speech by itself is not a metric of liberation. What was the main message here? Strive to be a seeker, not a speaker. Actually, to speak on Vedanta is the easiest. See, if you take, let's say, AI technology, what technology is there today, in 15 years, it will totally change. Just imagine if somebody is speaking on technology today and uses terms 15 years ago, uses terms from 15 years before, we will say things have already changed now. This is outdated. But in Vedanta, Panchakosha is Panchakosha. Since time immemorial, sixth kosha has not gotten added. 3 states of experience. Only 3 states. So speaking part is one, but Shankaracharya is pointing out here, are we able to face our life on the strength of this knowledge? Are we able to let go of things because they are unreal? He said that will test your true knowledge, not only speaking on Vedanta. If your speaking helps you do that, then Shankaracharya says it's very good, it's a sadhana. So speaking we should include wherever we talk about Vedanta. It could be with family, it could be with friends, or in any setup. Whenever we discuss Vedanta, Shankaracharya says the goal has to be internal, not external. The next verse is very popular verse, 59th verse you see. Avidnyate pare tattve शास्त्राधीतिस्तु निष्फला विज्ञातेऽपि परे तत्त्वे शास्त्राधीतिस्तु निष्फला अविज्ञाते परे तत्त्वे शास्त्राधीतिस्तु निष्फला विज्ञातेऽपि परे तत्त्वे शास्त्राधीतिस्तु निष्फला. If a person studies scriptures for several years but still maintains this idea that I am born and I will die, still maintains this idea that I am a jiva, then scriptures tell this person, we cannot do much for you. Avidnyate pare tattve. Having studied for several years, if jivatva doesn't go away, shastra dhitihi tu nishphala. Shankaracharya puts it in a strong words. He says study of scriptures for this person was futile. And what is the second sadhaka? Vijñātepi pare tattve. He studied scriptures for several years and he is confidently able to abide in the truth. His eye never lands on conditioning, never lands on body, mind, lands only on consciousness. Truth is never lost from his sight. For such a person, scriptures say, we don't have anything to offer for you. Vijñātepi pare tattve shastradhiti tu nishphala. Study of scriptures, if you literally translate it, it means futile. But what we should understand is, purpose of scriptures is served for this person. Later on, whatever he studies is meditation. When a sadhaka studies, it is shravanam. But if a jnani is studying scripture, it's a restatement of what they're experiencing, what they're seeing. There's a popular anecdote in Raman Maharshi's life, who was listening to some Upanishad. And somebody asks him, why do you need to study Upanishad? And he says, I like to hear what Upanishads are saying about me. How Upanishads are praising me, that I like to hear. That is the second category. Vijñātepi pare tattve shastradhiti tu nishphala. Okay, for first person who studied for a long time, did not get this truth. For that person it was futile. For the one who got the truth, for that person also scriptures are of no use. Then for whom is scriptures meant for? It's a person who is seeking the truth. You know, the first person mentioned here is somebody who says, my study is done. It is not referring to a sadhaka who says, I am still on the path. For that person, scripture is very helpful. In fact, that is his only path, only support to move forward. But if somebody, before removing ignorance, before erasing jivatva, finitude, if he says, I am done. That's why we should never say, I finished a text. Finish means it is finished. We can say, I completed one study of the text, one round of study. Again, you might have to study. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he gives an example for this. If a person is going grocery shopping, if you are going grocery shopping, you take a list with you, what all things you need to bring. And you make that list using different pens, everything, marker, everything is there. But half of the things you forgot. He says, if you didn't get your final result, your wonderful list is of no use. But if you have gotten whatever things you wanted, all the groceries were put in the basket, you did the payment, came home, unpacked it, put everything back. After that, what is the purpose of the list? Nishphala. Just making wonderful list, not getting the items. Nishphala. Having gotten the items, that list is Nishphala. If you go for hikes, map, that is like this, Shastra. Somebody is there who keeps on studying it, morning till evening. And by sunset, still he has not reached the peak. Everybody else reached. And he was the guide, telling everybody, turn left, turn right. They have a saying, right? Map is not the terrain. Map is map, terrain is different. You should know how to apply it. So what will the ranger say? This map was Nishphala for you. You had a wonderful map. If you didn't reach your goal, that map has not served its purpose. But he reaches that point, let us say, viewpoint from the top, and still he is looking at the map. What will the person there say? Now this map is Nishphala. Just enjoy the view from there. Don't get caught up in the map again. So the same idea is for Shastra. But note very carefully, they are not saying scriptures are meaningless. What they are saying is, scriptures are the pointer. From the pointer, we have to shift attention to the pointed. Don't remain only at pointer. Okay? Now next verse is also very popular verse. Let us chant it. Shabda-Jalam Maharanyam Chitta-Bhramana-Karanam Atah Prayatna-Jnatavyam Tatvajna-Tattvamatmanah Shabda-Jalam Maharanyam Chitta-Bhramana-Karanam Atah Prayatna-Jnatavyam Tatvajna-Tattvamatmanah. Tattvajnai is also another reading. Tattvajnaihi Tattvamatmanah. It means the same. What this verse tells us is, we all have limited time. In a day also we have limited time, and human birth also we have limited time. And there are infinite things to learn. Several things to learn and study. We should know what to study. We should know where to focus on. If a person continuously keeps on studying without reflecting, what will be that person's condition? Shabda-Jalam Maharanyam. These words of scriptures, they will end up to be a forest, dense forest, Just like in a forest, every tree looks the same. Here, every mantra will look the same. And having entered the forest, we might not know how to come out. So, here in this web of words, we might enter but not go anywhere. This is important even for person who feels like studying different schools of thoughts. One day he studies Vedanta. Second day he gets inspired to study Buddhism. Third day Jainism. Fourth day dualistic some school of thought. And if English translation is available, it's easier. He studies everything under the sun. What will be his condition? Chitta Brahmana Karanam. He'll get thoroughly confused with different schools of thoughts. In fact, they say, before we get conviction in our school of thought, don't even venture into others. Once you get clarity about Advaita Vedanta, then if you have that interest, you can look at other schools of thought. Otherwise, it will be lot of time spent, lot of effort, but not progressing spiritually. This topic is a very helpful topic for sadhakas, also called as Shastra Vasana. Later on in Vivekachoodamani, it will be discussed. There are 3 vasanas, 3 primary vasana. One is Deha Vasana. What is Deha Vasana? Helpless obsession with physical body. See, Vasana means helplessness. Without thinking, without allowing that person to think, mind jumps to do certain things. That is called as Vasana. So constant obsession with the body is called Deha Vasana, clinging on to the body. Second Vasana is called Loka Vasana. Loka Vasana means always thinking about what others are thinking about me. Log kya kahenge? Somebody tells him, why are you worried so much? Live your life honestly. He says, no. I want to look good in other people's eyes. So he lives life like that. That is called as Loka Vasana. Third Vasana is Shastra Vasana. Now Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj, he has written few pointers. What is Shastra Vasana? And other Mahatmas also have compiled it in one place. They say Shastra Vasana expresses as restlessness in study. By the time he finishes one text, he gets restless to start second text. Neither does he do the first one properly, nor is he able to start the second one thoroughly. Restlessness in study is shown as Shastra Vasana. It expresses as Shastra Vasana. Second thing he says, Shastra Vasana expresses as being proud of what we know. Being proud of the knowledge that is received from Shastra. And third expression of Shastra Vasana is person becomes argumentative. Now this is not worldly argumentativeness. About philosophy he becomes argumentative. Now whenever we hear this, many people feel, thank God I don't have Shastra Vasana. I don't feel like studying many texts. And many times people have doubt. Do I understand this concept well? Where is the question of pride? I never get into any arguments with anybody on spiritual topics. Remember, Shastra Vasana is not for somebody who is not even studying. That Shastra Vasana is much better than Deha Vasana and Loka Vasana. Shastra Vasana will help us transcend worldly vasanas. But if you are not alert, then that study of scripture done incorrectly can come to bind us. Shankaracharya is not saying here we should not study texts. What he is saying is, don't become restless to study. This happens in study groups also, By the time you reach 60% of your text, what is the next question? Which text are we going to do next? He said, don't worry, every verse until the last verse is important. Go deep in that. Meditate upon it. And see whether it can erase ignorance. Whether it can transform our life. If truth alone is real, what is there to be proud of? If truth alone is real, really speaking, what is there to argue about? He said that is more important than studying multiple texts. Because remember, who is writing this verse? Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya ji, who has written commentaries on 10 Upanishads, Vishnu Sahasranama, Hastamalakiyam, 35 plus Prakarana Granthas, 65 plus Stotrams. If he is saying Shabda-Maharanyam, it definitely cannot mean from today onwards stop studying. Because you will hear people misquoting this verse. Or somebody who is sincerely studying, we should not say, what do you get by studying? Just use these 3 metrics. Has my restlessness increased? Do I feel proud because I know more things? And what is the relation with people? He said that is Vedanta in action. If a person is able to not be argumentative, not be proud, that is much better than mere study. The same point we express or we explain to children when we explain the story of Lord Ganesha. When we say Lord Ganesha has big ears, what do we tell them? Listen more. Listen more. And Lord Ganesha has a big tummy. What is it? Not eat more, huh? Big belly so that whatever you have heard, reflect more. Digested food nourishes the body. Digested wisdom nourishes the mind. Undigested food is like Shabda-Maharanyam. Atav prayatnad jnatavyam. Because this is the case, one should strive forth to learn the truth. Put forth effort. How? Tattvajnat tattvam atmanah. Learn it from a person who knows the truth. If you independently read books, those books might confuse us. It might become a forest of words. Systematic knowledge will not be gained. Isn't it true even for secular knowledge? Right now, you take any field, nuclear physics, chemistry, Probably there is no topic on which material is unavailable. Every topic you will get material, free online. But if you have to master that subject, I need to study it systematically from somebody who knows it. Now the next verse, Shankaracharya ji brings a metaphor. Let us see what he says. Ajnana sarpadashtasya brahmajnanaushadham vina kimu vedaischa shastraischa kimu mantraih kimaushadhaih Ajnana sarpadashtasya brahmajnanaushadham vina kimu vedaischa shastraischa kimu mantraih kimaushadhaih. If a person is bitten by a snake, Ajnana sarpadashtasya. Which snake do we talk about in Vedanta? Real snake or unreal snake? Unreal snake. If a person is bitten by illusory snake and he is throwing tantrums, he says, "Take me to the doctor, I'm in pain." What will you say? What is the only remedy for him? To understand that there is no snake. Make sure it is illusory snake. If it's a real snake, real doctor, real medicine. Illusory snake, if he takes real medicine, more problem. Illusory snake, knowledge is his medicine. So what is the snake over here? Ajnana sarpa. Snake in the form of ignorance of our blissful nature. Snake in the form of jivatva, ajnana sarpa. If somebody is bitten by that ajnana sarpa, what will be the medicine? Brahmajnana aushadham. Self-knowledge is a medicine to cure snake bite coming from ajnana sarpa. Other than this, nothing else can help. Kimu vedaischa shastraischa. What is the meaning of Veda here? Mere chanting of Vedas. Mere chanting of Vedas will not remove ignorance. What is the meaning of Shastra? All other Shastras. Veda, chanting, Vedanga, and secular knowledge also. What is Vedanga? Grammar, astrology, different types of guidance on how to do rituals, etymology of words, prose and meter, how to compose, and in addition to that, add whatever knowledge you are studying. Secular knowledge by itself will not remove ignorance. Kimu vedaischa shastraischa, kimu mantraischa. Mere chanting of mantra by itself will not remove ignorance. And kim aushadhaihi. No other medicine can be given to cure the snake bite coming from ajnana. In simple words, knowledge is the only antidote for ignorance. Now all of you have heard of Sankat Mochan. Right? There is a beautiful verse which talks about it. Now there is tabla here, so we have to sing. You can chant just the last line. Ko nahi janat hai jagame kapi sankata mochana namatiharo. रावण युद्ध अजान कियो तब नाग की फांस सब सिर डारो। श्री रघुनाथ समेत सब दल मोह भयो यह संकट भारो। आनी खगेश तब हनुमान जो बंधन काटी सूत्रासन निवारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। रावण युद्ध अजान कियो तब. When Ravana attacked suddenly, he sent Nagapasha. How does Nagapasha work? It comes as an arrow, but it splits into multiple small arrows and becomes snakes. And it ties that person on whom that arrow is sent. So everybody was tied with Nagapasha. Bhagwan Rama, Lakshmanji, Sugriva, Jambavanji. Bhagwan Rama asks only one question. Is Hanumanji safe? Lakshmanji says, yes, he is the only person who is not bound. Bhagwan says, don't worry, we will be fine. So Hanumanji quickly goes to Garud Bhagwan and tells him, your food is snake. So we have a feast for you right now. Please come with me. So Garud Bhagwan comes and snaps open the Nagapasha. Bhagwan Rama he frees, Lakshmanji, all Vanaras are freed by Garud Bhagwan. Until now he was busy opening the knots, opening that Nagapasha. On his way back, he was little relaxed. This thought comes to him, people call him Lord of the Universe. People call him Sarva Shaktiman, Bhagwan Rama. And to free him from Nagapasha, I had to come. Hindi commentators, they write it nicely, Garud Bhagwan felt, अगर मैं नहीं आता तो दुनिया भगवानहीन हो जाती. If I had not come, world would become godless. Thank God I came. He was having this doubt. On his way, he meets Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva understands what is in his mind. Garudji says, please teach me, remove this ignorance. Why do people worship him as Rama? Lord Shiva says, I could have taught you, but I don't speak your language. You are a bird. So you need bird examples. You need bird stories. I cannot teach you in that language, so you have to go and learn from a guru who is in the form of a bird. Very good. He goes and learns from Kakabhushundiji. King of birds, Garudji, learning from an ordinary bird, Kakabhushundiji. Lord Shiva tells Parvatiji, this was also my strategy, because I noticed pride in him. I am king of birds, so who should be my guru? Lord Shiva. Bhagwan said, I will not teach. You go to Kakabhushundiji and learn with humility. But what is the point over here? That Nagapasha which came to bind everybody, what was that Nagapasha? Ajnana Sarpa. Ajnana Sarpa Dashtasya, one who is bitten by this Ajnana Sarpa. Who has to come to free Ajnana Sarpa? Or in that story, Nagapasha had to be freed from, people had to be freed from Nagapasha by Garud Bhagwan. So Garud Bhagwan represents knowledge. They say Garud Bhagwan's flapping of the wings are mantras of Samaveda. Riding on such mantras, Bhagwan Vishnu comes. Because Bhagwan Vishnu, his vehicle is Garud Bhagwan. So Mahavakya of Upanishads, that is represented by Garud Bhagwan who comes there. What is the role of Hanumanji? He is in Guru Rupa. The one who brings Mahavakya to a Jiva who is bound, such that he comes to discover Bhagwan Rama who is already there. Hanumanji did not produce Bhagwan Rama. So Guru doesn't produce consciousness for us. What does Guru do for us? Brings knowledge in our heart. If we allow that knowledge to work, then we are freed from bondage. So that is this Ajnana Sarpa, one who is bound by it. Only antidote is knowledge. Nothing else can save that person. Kimu Vedaisya Shastraisya, Kimu Mantre, Kimu Aushadhaihi. Dakshinamurti Stotram Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Vishaje Bhavaroginam. Bhagwan Shiva is the doctor. Of which disease is he the doctor? Bhavaroga. What is the insignia of Bhavaroga? I am doer, I am experiencer. Kartrutva and Bhoktrutva is the signature of a Jiva. We had seen this before. In Vedanta, their exams are very simple. When a Jiva departs, it is said Yamadutas, they have to find out, does he have a return ticket or no return ticket? How do they find out? They praise the Jiva and tell the Jiva, you did such good work there, tell us something more about your work. If he starts telling, which ticket do they give? Return ticket. Because what is there? Kartrutva and Bhoktrutva. See, nobody says, I am a Jiva. How do we express our Jivatva? If I did something and somebody challenges it, what do I feel? I feel hurt. If I did something, somebody tells me, no, you did not do it. How do I feel? I claim my right. I did it. You see, that is something which we have to pay attention to. That is Ajnana Sarpa. A result of it will be Ragadvesha and all kleshas in life. Good. We have few minutes. If you have anything to ask or share, this is a good time. Either Vivekachoodamani or anything else. There is no mic, you have to wait.
So I am not doer. That I think I can understand, but I am not the bhoktrutva part, that I don't experience things that I don't understand.
What is difficult in that part? Like what part of
because
it?
I go through the experience of happiness, sadness, or pain, pleasure.
Right.
So to say that I don't experience these things, I don't suffer these things or enjoy these things.
Yes. Now, when we say I don't experience, we should add one more statement there, one more part to that statement. As consciousness, I don't experience. As perceiver, feeler, thinker, as ahankara, ahankara experiences pain. Ahankara experiences joy and sorrow.
So from a practical perspective, then it's a little hard to say that I don't feel pain and pleasure from a day-to-day perspective.
No, that statement we have to understand from what perspective they are saying. If, let's say, there is body pain, you are experiencing that pain. Not as consciousness, but as ahankara. As practical perspective, we should have practical ways to deal with it.
So when I feel pain, pleasure, what should I tell myself so that I can understand that it is I'm not going through?
When I feel what?
So if I feel pain or pleasure, what should I tell myself so that I can understand better that I'm not?
Yes. When we feel pain or pleasure, one way to look at it is sent for a purpose. And so many people have gone beyond pain because of a mature perspective. More we try to deny it, more we try to resist it, it just increases. Because one pain is of the body, another pain is why me. So those are relative, practical ways to deal with it.
Okay, thank you.
Namaste, Swamiji. I have a question, but I had a follow-up from his question.
No, first you ask your question.
Okay. I thought I'll be more in context first,
Okay.
but I can ask my question first. So the question I had was, you gave that example of doing a party at home, and it's a good thing, noble thing to do and all. And
It is not ignoble, that's all I said.
So what will be the right mindset to do it in a way that you do not attach with the things that build up from that? What is the mindset you should have then?
You must have heard that statement, no man is an island. Means if we are living in this world, we cannot live an isolated life. Even our families, our children need social contact, connect. Because it is the right thing to do, we should do. Not doing because others will benefit. Not doing out of favor to the community. If I am doing this, I will grow spiritually. That is the right mindset. Less disappointing.
So what in that thought will make you do a party?
No, when I say part, it was just an example.
No, I mean, you said that it's the right thing to do.
Correct.
In what context is it the right thing to do?
Social gathering. You can also call it as satsang if you are calling like-minded people. Right?
Okay. Got that. So with respect to that previous point, so if someone has pain and suffering, right, is it also true that the more you go inwards, pain is for a purpose and that's great, but suppose it's a pain, it's like a headache that's happening, you can take a Tylenol and overcome
Yes.
it. But on the other hand, if you go inwards and try to connect to your consciousness, is it true also that if you go closer to that state, you can overcome the pain in an easier way?
For great yogis, that is possible because they have disconnected with body. But for us as sadhakas, we should think what is practical for us. And that yogi is not somebody who meditates 1 hour a day. Yogi is somebody who gets up for 1 hour a day.
Right.
From that seat of meditation.
Yeah.
If you read Yoga Vasishta, 7 stages are pointed out. So the last 3 stages is non-perception of the world.
Okay. Thank you.
Last one, we'll conclude with that.
So, Hari Om Swamiji, this is more from the morning class. You were mentioning that when all the karma phala is done, then the universe goes into unmanifest state. Can we consider that as the prarabdha of that?
Yes.
Okay. And
a better word for that is sanchita karma.
Is Sanchita Karma.
Prarabdha is what is taken out for this life. But during Pralaya time, what is stored is Sanchita Karma.
Okay. And all of that Sanchita Karma has been exhausted by the... in Pralaya it's stored, but you said that everything is exhausted in the universe created state, right?
In that one cycle of creation.
In that one cycle of creation, yeah. So that is the prarabdha of that cycle of creation, can we say that?
You can call it that way, yes.
Okay. And can I ask one more or only one?
Last one.
Last one. So in that unmanifest state, because we are comparing it to the deep sleep, in unmanifest state, what preparation is happening for that ripening to happen?
There is no preparation. The time aspect of creation is still working. Think of it this way, if we do some action now, why do we get certain results after several years? There is no preparation or action involved in between. It is just the nature of that result. It has to come after that time, after that much time. So here also, certain karmas, they are bound to give results in the next cycle of creation.
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
This is easier, you ask questions here, we reflect together, rather than email or asking after the class. So I will give some time, please note it, and we just ask it here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.